very lovely day. We're getting ready to go into a big city. Well, bigger than here. The Home Depot's calling my name. And I gotta say, I hate these trays. These cardboard paper trays, they smell funny and they create mold. I've had to throw an entire tray away already. Okay, for reals though, I'm not just going to Home Depot today. I'm going to get my cancer checkup, make sure my boobies are still good, no cancer has come back. From where we live in the Annapolis Valley, it takes us about an hour and a half to get into Halifax. And along the way, there's a whole bunch of garden nurseries that I wanted to stop at. We left really early, and that's exactly what we did. We stopped at a lot of places. The first stop we had was a place called Brooklyn Farms, and they're a Mennonite farm. Their prices were phenomenal. I was buying super petunias last year for $9.95, and this year here they're $5.95.
Look at these. Look at this little goobers and these goobers. Looks like peas.
They even
Somebody
flower.
just took a bag of peas and oh, that's pretty. You know, comes with a hanging basket. And one of these creepers, whatever that is. Here. Now we got the basil.
But they're beautiful. I think they're Gerberas. Nami does these every year. The prices at my big box stores and a lot of the garden nurseries around the Annapolis Valley are all over the place. I was finding wave petunias in 6 packs from $7 to $16 a piece. They're really all over the place. Baskets, I think, are a little bit more expensive this year as well. I don't typically buy baskets though. I like to make my own. In my area, I don't get to see a lot of proven winners plants. So this was a real treat for me. I was honestly hopping around this place like a little kid in a candy store. When I got out of the car, my head whipped like left and right, and I was like, where do I go first? Oh my God, I was so excited.
So pretty.
I know. If only I could keep them alive at my house. Before, when I used to walk into a greenhouse like this, I would get so overwhelmed and I'd walk out without buying anything at all. I didn't know what these plants did. I had no idea how to garden. But now I totally get going overboard. Just taking some time to learn basically everything I know about gardening on YouTube so far. I feel a little bit more confident. And now when I don't know about a plant, I just go on ChatGPT and it tells me everything I need to know. I really wanted to get my hands on some super petunias this year, so this was my main focus at this nursery. But they also had cannas, but I wasn't willing to spend $12 on cannas when I saw them elsewhere for $5.95.
Okay, so the cannas are $12 here.
I did end up purchasing a couple of hollyhocks as well. They were only $8.95. We live out in the country in the Annapolis Valley, and we don't typically go into Halifax all that often. But when we do, we make a big deal of it and we go to all of our favorite stores, like IKEA and BMW.
What do you think of those lights? Those are the lights I'm gonna buy for our car.
Nice.
BMW to Dave is like a garden center for me. Halifax doesn't really seem to have a lot of garden nurseries like what I find out in the country. They have big box stores, Home Depot, Canadian Tire, Walmart, and they tend to have better prices than what is out in the valley, but a different selection. I don't know. Home Depot seemed to have the best price for wave petunias, but they didn't have any options for super petunias, but they did have a couple of other proven winners options. I suppose I shouldn't gloss over the fact that we came to Halifax for a medical appointment. As a matter of fact,
We both had a medical appointment this day. My husband, one for his heart because he's dealing with some AFib issues right now, and me for a mammogram. In 2015, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. It was called ductal carcinoma in situ. It was the very beginning stages of breast cancer, and it was ER/PR positive. I ended up having two surgeries. The first surgery was for a partial mastectomy, and the cancer had grown so quickly by the time they diagnosed me to my surgery date that my doctor had actually missed her margins. A month later, she had to go in and take out more. So I had the mastectomy or mastectomies, and then I opted to actually not have reconstructive surgery done. I didn't want any foreign objects in my body. I just wanted to be completely natural, and I'm okay with it. And then after surgery was done, I had to have 6 weeks of radiation and no chemotherapy. I was only 39 years old when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And my heart goes out to anybody who has to deal with any type of cancer. It's not easy on the patient or any of the family members. Everybody suffers with you when you're suffering. So if you're going through this right now, or if you've gone through it, you can leave a comment and we can chat about it if you want. Okay, enough of the seriousness stuff. Back to it.
Is that bamboo? Let's go see.
I've only seen bamboo in Hawaii, so I had no idea that there's a cold hardy clumping species that doesn't spread and can totally survive a Nova Scotia climate. I wonder how quickly it would grow. I was looking for bamboo when we first moved into our house because it would make for a great hedge.
Wow, I bought one of these for my girlfriend. Okay, it was only $40.
Well, our big city trip is over, and now we're back in the Annapolis Valley at some beautiful nurseries. This one I find is a little bit more expensive than the others, kind of on par for perennials at the big box stores. Now, I know there are no Canadian Tires anywhere outside of Canada. So if you're watching from outside Canada, this is kind of like, I don't know, a department store. It's definitely a Canadian classic. It's kind of like a mix between, I guess, a department store and a hardware store. They have everything. I bought my air fryer here, my vacuum cleaner. Oh, Dave buys tools and hockey gear, and you can obviously pick up tires. You have to be careful on how to shop at this store. They have these sales every week from Thursday to Thursday, and something that you bought last week might go on sale next week for 50% off or more. So we watch the flyers. The garden center, however, is only open from May until I want to say the end of June, and then they close it right up. It's amazing to me when the parking lot starts to fill up with plants and they've got a great big barrier wall around it, how quickly they're able to get everything up on display and sold. This will absolutely sell out in that short time frame. Maybe not all the furniture and stuff like that, but the plants will definitely be gone. So I mentioned that I learned a lot of my gardening from YouTube, and I still feel like I don't know anything, but I love watching certain garden tours from Erin, the Impatient Gardener. I love, love, love Erin. She is amazing to me, and the way she rattles off her plants' names just astonishes me. How does she remember this stuff? She'll even remember when she bought it and where. I don't know how she does that. Now that I think about it, I don't have any Canadian gardeners that I watch. There is a soil scientist somewhere in Saskatchewan. I've checked out her channel a couple of times, but she doesn't do garden tours. And I'm all about the garden tours. But I do watch the typical people like Kevin, Crane, Soleil, Danielle, and like I said, Erin. There's tons more that I watch. I watch John Lord. I watch
Oh my God, Monty Don. How can you not watch Monty Don? But if you're a garden tour fanatic like I am, you will know those names immediately. I just know you will. Now, this is the hose that we recently bought. And oh my God, it has made such a difference in my life. So after the young lads loaded up my mulch so graciously into the trunk, we headed over to this local market. It's called Avery's, and they typically sell vegetables and fruits and ice cream in here. And then in the summer, from May to about June, July, they've got a little bit of a garden center as well. And by far, they have the best prices anywhere in the Annapolis Valley. So you bet I bought a lot of plants. I bought flats. And then I got them home only to have a frost that same very night. So they had to sit in my laundry room for the evening. And I ran around the yard and covered up my macrophylla hydrangeas to make sure they didn't get nipped by the frost.
After all the shopping I did, I got these home and I thought, oh, I overdid it. I shouldn't have bought so much. And then I got planting. And I was like, no, I didn't buy enough. Let's show you what I got. This is lobelia. I've never actually grown it before. I don't know if that's a spring plant and it fizzles out. I have no idea. But I do know this one. It's called alyssum. And I grew it last year and it bloomed all summer long. It's low growing, it was beautiful. So I wanted to try that again this year in a little bit more of a mass effect. And then these are vinca. I bought those last year, tried them in my front flower bed. I planted them, walked away. I didn't even water them all summer and they bloomed their little heads off. It was fantastic. And then I don't normally like to buy petunias that I got a deadhead, but I just wanted to try them. I want to try different types of petunias this year. This is a Dusty Miller. I tried those with my impatiens last year and oh my God, it looked really good. Actually, no I didn't. That was helichrysum. I'm lying to you. This is an ornamental kale that I've never grown before. I don't know anything about it. I'm going to have to chat GPT that. And some zinnias, because some of my zinnias that I've already put in the ground from seed are getting chomped by something and not even making it. And then of course sweet potato vine. I love me some sweet potato vine. And below that there's a couple of Boston ferns. I've never tried those either. Do you know what these grasses are? They're some kind of ponytail grass. I just thought they were striking. I'm going to put them in the landscape, see what they do. Maybe. I haven't decided, actually. I might pair them up with a petunia. I don't know. And then this is a Cosmo. I've never grown Cosmos before. And I have no idea what to expect from them. Just have to go by the tag. This is... oh, if you can tell me, I'd really love it. I'm going to have to take a picture of this with my picture app and figure it out. I planted these from seeds, and then I moved stuff around, and as you can see, a lot of them died. But I don't remember what they are. I have no idea. Over here are all the things I'm going to keep on the deck this year. I always love to have coleus in this great big container. And it gets pretty big and it's so pretty. I've never grown a calibrachoa before, so I want that on the deck as well. I really love lemon coral sedum. This thing is amazing. And I overwinter, I keep it all year and then I plant it all over the garden and it sprouts everywhere. Dahlias. Dahlias and I don't get along. Only because of the bug pressure that I have. I put a big, beautiful dahlia in my garden bed in front of the deck one year. And I came out one morning and it was completely eaten alive. I don't know what the heck got it, but it was gone. And ever since then, I've been a little bit apprehensive about planting it again. So this year I thought, well, I'll try some of these little ones in this 6-inch, or these whatever they're called, 6Ls. And let's see if they work out better for me. I don't know if they're gonna do any better on the deck. I don't like watering pots, but I'm gonna try and keep it down this year.
But these, anything from Proven Winners, it's just got my attention. So the bubble gums, Super Tunia Vista bubble gums, are amazing. You know, I watch garden channels. I see what they do in people's landscapes, and I see what they do in people's baskets. And I must try. So this is my first year. I've got them out front in my pots, and I also put one in a basket over here. Oh no, what's going on with this little bee? Are you alive? Oh yes, you are. Are you okay? Well, we'll let him do what he's doing, because maybe he's just tired and that's where he's choosing to sleep. I don't know. Weirdo. Back to my basket. This is the bubble gum. I expect that to overtake the basket. I know it will. And I'm going to fertilize everything every Sunday. That's my regimen. There's lemon coral sedum from last year. I can't believe that this is coming back. This survived snow. Like, we had minus 20 at some points this winter. And there it grows. What the F? Amazing.
So that's it. Thanks for coming along for the ride today. I'll be back again with more dirt, if you know what I mean. Definitely more plants. Until then, take care of yourself.